Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 11:58 a.m. on Monday the 5th of January 2026. So I'm out here with the birdie boys and I've got a lovely plate of fruit and a nice hot cup of tea, and thought I'd come out and read to you. I had a very bad accident yesterday with my lips. I burnt the inside of my lips, so drinking hot tea is a bit problematic and probably not really the smartest idea. But it happened about an hour or so after finishing reading yesterday's offerings to you and trying to remember the prayer that says, "O Lord, open my mouth and let my lips declare your glory." And then I put a scathing hot fork into my mouth that I had been trying to toast pita bread over the gas flame. Beneath consciousness, just lifted it up, put it to my mouth, and I didn't even realise what I'd done until I heard the hiss as the metal hit the flesh. So I ran around because I snapped to full consciousness then. I ran around putting ice on it, and then I ran and got some arnica spray from my bathroom cabinet, which hurt like fuck because it's got a bit of alcohol in it, I think. And I realised, no, you silly chook, it's not arnica you need, it's aloe vera. So I went out to the back garden and picked a nice young sprig of aloe vera and put that on my lips. But a bit of a nasty injury, and what's concerning was I wasn't conscious that I was about to burn my own self like that. Like, who does that? It's odd. So especially on the tail end of saying in my video, trying to remember that prayer in Hebrew, which I got there in the end, and having to Google it and translate it because I've forgotten exactly what the words mean. And you know what? I used to know all those off by heart. I really have drifted a long way from my faith and my religious practices. So it's a bit of a worry actually that I got punished by something or someone didn't like me praying in Hebrew. Well, I may not attend synagogues or temples or shuls, and I may not belong to a congregation anymore, and I may not keep a lot of the traditional observances, but I am still a Jew. So, what can I say? It's been a bit weird, especially after that spontaneous channeling in Latin of the words Deus exactus, which was also a bit strange. I had to Google and find out what that meant too. Which it means perfect or exact God. So, someone didn't like me praying in Hebrew and burnt my mouth. But that someone doesn't hold power over me. Only God does. And God and I have had a very weird relationship since I was a little Lutheran girl growing up in a Lutheran family, being molested by the family predators. So I developed an absolute hatred for that religion based on that. It's even written into the text, "Suffer the little children to come unto me." Well, we won't be doing that, people of earth. No children shall suffer or come unto anyone on my watch. But anyway, you can imagine the fucking ghastly horror when my auntie Sylvia, who was an Orthodox Jew from East London, told me about the constant incest and predation going on in that community when she was a child, which, by the way, is usually intergenerational and doesn't actually stop. I was very ill after she told me that for days, because basically she told me because she wanted me to know that she understood what had happened to me as a child, and that she had tried to prevent it actually, and spoke to my mother, but my mother wouldn't listen. I said, of course she wouldn't listen. She knew she was complicit in it from the very beginning. My auntie Sylvia got quite a shock there. So anyway, what can I say, people of Earth? Life goes on. But yes, my auntie Sylvia did try to protect me, and I believe her, given her background. She knew more than most the long-term damage that is done to child survivors of child sexual abuse. It might not become obvious straight away, but it comes out as we age and get re-triggered by various other events or cumulative traumas, or what my psychiatrist euphemistically calls cascades of trauma, which I've certainly gone through all my life. Here's a big massive butterfly that just flew right past my head. Delightful. So yes, burning my mouth but eating fruit. It'll help me heal, won't it? Right. It's a very large butterfly. It's black with white spots all over it. It's looking for somewhere to lay eggs, I think. Beautiful. Life is beautiful. Triumph over oppression is beautiful. Out surviving your enemies, beautiful. Rock melon on a hot sunny day, exquisite. So, there we go, my wonderful friends and subscribers, viewers, likers and commenters on my channel. You're very brave and audacious to come and watch my unravelling and packing everything back together into some sort of coherent, logical sense. You can't make sense out of nonsense, but it's been my life's work to hold my truth and hold my line, hold my honour and dignity and integrity, and maintain at least a tenuous attachment to sanity. Given that I have spirits jump in on my YouTube videos now is a bit astonishing, and then one that thought it was funny to burn my mouth. Ouch. But that was actually, I can't blame that on spirit. That was me did that. It's my hand that went to my mouth with that fork. But it was almost like I was in a dream, not really conscious of it, almost in a trance or a form of disassociation. So I'll have to keep an eye on that, because I'm not a self-harmer, never have been. I don't agree with that. Why would you hurt yourself when there's so many other people out there more than willing to hurt you instead? But it's sometimes a manifestation of trauma that people hurt themselves. But I wasn't wanting to hurt myself. It just happened so spontaneously and naturally without even thinking. Oh, yes, that's what I was telling you. So a couple of hours after that, my friends Peter and Robin phoned me, which I thought was lovely because I don't hear from them, very often, not every day. And the timing of it, after not long before had that bad burn. And Robin says, "How are you?" I said, "Actually, I've burnt my mouth with a fork. It's the most stupid thing I've ever done. I don't understand how I even could do that." I said, "It's not logical." And she was so sweet and so kind. She says, as you get older, you do more silly things like that. It's just happened, she said. Lots of us older folks are finding we're struggling with, minor injuries and silly little things that we don't even understand how we managed to achieve that. I felt better. It was kind of her to tell me that. I thought, well, if this is getting older, they're a little bit older than me, not a lot, about 8 to 10 years. Well, if this is getting older, what kind of a bloody life is that going to be for me? Burning myself or hurting myself. But anyway, hopefully it doesn't happen again. Anyway, they rang me, which was very sweet, to tell me that they were at the Morrison Hotel on a Sunday. They play music from 2 till 5, lovely blues and, nice, pleasurable music. And they said, "We thought about ringing you because we want to invite you to come next time we go along next month." And I said, "Why didn't you invite me to come along today?" They said, "We didn't think of it till we were here." And then they said, "We realised it's not that far from where you live, so we could come and pick you up and bring you out with us and hang out for 3 hours, listen to the lovely music, have a few drinks and drop you home again." I said, "I would love that, so definitely invite me. I'll come along with you next month." So I'm looking forward to that, actually. It's nice to sit and listen to music, and Peter and Robin and I, we always love a good old chat, and it gets quite excited at times. So, and it's good. It's good to have somewhere to go with friends and have companionship and company. So I was very happy about that. I thought, oh, that's lovely. But it's only once a month that they go there, that thing is on, so which is a bit of a shame. I think they'd have that more often if people like going there. And they said to me, there's lots of people in our age group, she said, so you'll have lots of people you can actually vibe with. And I thought, well, that might be interesting. I think the subtext is probably they thought I might meet somebody there, You never know. I don't go out hoping to meet people because I'm so prickly and ornery and self-protective that very few people actually even dare to approach me. They can pick up the vibe. But if I'm sitting with my friends enjoying myself and someone joins in, I can still have a pleasurable afternoon, and there's no harm and no foul, and you never know, you might actually meet someone nice that joins in with our joy and delight, and someone that's a bit fun and enjoys music, and so that should be delightful. So that was the highlight after very badly burning myself. And it's lovely in the garden today. I didn't put the birdie boys out yesterday, so they're really happy. Both of them are looking at me. Yay, Mama, yay. All around me, lawn mowing. I still haven't heard what's happening with my lawns. I'm going to have to ring them up and say what's going on here. It's not good. It's not good leaving me with the grass growing very, very tall. Right, anyway, we'll carry on with chapter 25 of Boadicea, Dreaming the Serpent Spear. Just have another sip of tea. It's going to hurt people there. It's not as bad as it was, thank the goddess. Right. On Mona, Hawk said, "I'm going to teach you to fight." "No," Grain said. She sat on a stone by the river where the wagtails hunted. A birch trailed new leaves in the water. Larks chirred over the hill. There was no wind. The blue smoke from the great house fire spread horizontally as a layer of cloud beneath the blue of the opening sky. War was a day and a night away, a distant memory. She did not wish to bring it closer. "What are you doing eating all that matting on your swing, you mad bird?" It's chewed it nearly all up. Oh well, it's foraging behaviours, isn't it? It's completely natural. "Bobo, what are you doing? Sitting there like a little stool pigeon doing nothing, just enjoying the breeze in your feathers and being outside. Good boy. Good boys. Yes, you're a good boy too, Cammy." Hawk laid down the bundle he was carrying and leaned against the trunk of a birch on the opposite bank, peering at her through the drooping leaves. His hair was damp from swimming in the pool further down. Oh, that would be nice right now. Should take myself off to South Bank, boys. Go through. I love swimming. Never go and do it, but I love it. Mama might take herself to Coochie Mudlow Island again. That was a lovely day. It lay sleek and black down his head like an otter pelt, with the hawk's feather dangling from the top knot. His skin was already brown from the spring sun, unblemished except for the lizard clan mark winding up his arm and the greening bruise on his lower lip that had come from Valerius's knife. That was almost gone now. He could smile without his face distorting. He did so now, disarmingly. "Your grandfather gave his blade into my care to keep near you, and then yesterday you came back from the shore with another," he said. Sort of schmutz on my dress. It's perfectly clean when I put it on this morning. Dear goddess. "I thought perhaps it was time you learned how to use at least one of them." "They're both too big for me." She eyed Hawk up and down. "You could wield Iburovik's ancestor blade. You're tall enough and there's no geas against it." Don't know if that's a typo or an actual word. Geas. No geese against it. Must mean Icenian laws. And the one I picked up would suit you on horseback if you chose to fight like that. Grain offered these not because she expected him to accept them, but in the hope that he might see the heart behind the gift and go away. She wanted him to go away, this lean, ardent, bright-eyed youth who had pledged his life to her without her asking. This man-boy who had followed her across land and sea with her grandfather's great war blade strapped across his back so that it seemed to grow from his shoulders. Now I've got the hiccups. Fruit does that to me. Gives me reflux. That's why I don't like it much. But you gotta sustain your physique on something healthy. Sometimes people are there. Honestly. Here's another huge butterfly. Oh. Just lovely. She had wanted him to go and fight the day before, not for her or because he was needed, but because it was better than sitting beside him, feeling the tremors running through his body as he watched dreamers battle against legionaries on the foreshore. He was a hound kept unfairly back from the hunt, a horse stalled at the start of a race when generations of breeding had made him only for that, and there was no point. She had not asked for the pledge of his life and his care, and did not need it. As he, evidently, did not need her gift of another man's blade. The Indian miners are here, little boy. Can you hear them? They come to play with you. Are you going to sing them a song? Sometimes he sings to them. He's on the brink of singing. I can tell you're on the brink of singing, little boy. Are you going to sing to the birdie boys? No? Watching his little facial expression is quite delightful. I don't think so, Hawk said mildly. The blades of your line are for your family, not a stranger from another tribe. In any case, I have my own blade. It was a gift from my father. He sat down, cross-legged, on the moss. Her mother had killed his father. They had never spoken of that. She did not want to know. She did not want to now, and neither, she thought, did he. She was coming to recognise the stillness that settled on him when he had gone inside, beyond reach. He looked politely attentive, which was not a comfortable thing to endure. It's getting hotter out here, a bit humid. Weather's probably on the turn, boys. Even the water coming out of that is hot. By the gods. Turn it to spritz. Wrong way. Wrong way. Still the wrong way. By the gods. Now it's off. Alright, here we go, people there. What about you boys? You feel better. It's nice. Kenny doesn't like it. That's because I have to spray at long range to reach him. Good boy. Bit better now? Yes. Nice and cool. Water. Oh. That's nice, isn't it, Kermie? He says, I don't like it when you spritz me, Mama T. It's a violation of my inability to endure conditions of a hygienic variety. Shaking it off though. I think he's starting to like it. He's realised it's hot and it's the best he's going to get. He's got a bath in there. I give him a bath of water. Won't bath in it, dirty birds. Feel better now after that little spritz. Right. The morning was too good to be spoiled. She sat opposite him and withdrew into herself and waited. In a while, when all they had heard was the river and the distant larks, Hawk leaned over and unfolded the two ends of the sheepskin so that it lay flat on the river bank with the skin side down and the wool up. The tanner had left the two ears on it and the beginnings of the tail, so that the pattern of white and mud-brown mottles could be imagined as they had been on the back of the she-lamb that had run in the paddocks by the great house through the last summer when it was alive. Little Bo's like lifted up his wings and he's tipped forward and he's like, went under your armpits, okay. Is that good? That's good, isn't it, little one? Yes, it's very good. Kenny's realised too, he's lifted up his wings so I can flush his armpits. Oh, well, they're not armpits, are they? Wing pits. Oh, is that good, boys? Is that really good? Ah, you're such lucky birds to have a crazy mother like me. I've stopped now. You can relax. Little Bo's like, stop. Oh, you should see it. It's hilarious. Now he's trying to bath in his water. The little one's really luxuriating. You're luxuriating in all that water I spritzed on you. Happy boys. Happy boys. Now you understand what I'm trying to do. Yeah, look at you. Happy boys. Bye-bye. Pretty boy. Oh, that's good. Shake it all out. What are you going to do, Kermie? What you doing, Kermie? Swishing your tail feathers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That is the cutest thing. I've never seen them do that before. It shows you how hot they are. Want some more, Kermie? Here we go. I know. Get you nice and saturated. Good boy. Good boy, Bo. Is that good? You've got so much oil in your feathers it just splotches straight off. They're both spreading their wings now. Good boy, Kermie. Yay. That's it. Good bird. Right, sorry, I'm distracted by their cuteness. Across the mottles, pardon me, and within them, lying part buried in the wool so that little could be seen but the matte sheen of blued iron, lay a sword and a knife of a size to suit a 9-year-old girl. I wish I'd had a bloody knife when I was a child. Oh, no, it's probably good I didn't. I would have been institutionalised for life, but those bastards would have deserved it. I say that without any half measures to this very day. We did try to find the brake line, Lynn Robertson and I, but I was 7 and she was 11. We didn't know which line was the brake line. By the God, we were almost heavenly creatures. They deserved it, bastards. But what happens? They got to die of old age and natural attrition. Got away with their crimes against us children. Bastards. But look at my little happy birds. Life is beautiful. Sometimes as a mere defiance against everything, people of earth. Granny said again, I don't want to learn to fight. Hawk lifted the sword. A running hair and bronze made the hilt with its head as the pommel. That would have been really pretty. And the curve of its body set to fit a small hand. There was, during the COVID years, or the previous 2 years anyway, there was someone, I used to see it come up on Facebook, some blacksmith that was teaching classes on how to create your own knives. I wish I'd done it. Now, I think that they were very expensive, like all courses are and workshops, running into a couple of $100 or $300. But I did look at it. I thought that would be really interesting to learn how to forge your own knife, your own blades. And now I know how to do basic silver smithing. I could have made an awesome hilt for it too. What would I do with a very sharp knife? Chop vegetables. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. But yes, it would be interesting to learn how to forge your own blades and be like a real Viking or a real Celt, or like all ancient peoples that had to be self-sufficient, know how to make your own knives. It's a handy skill to have, quite frankly. So yes, I might go and do that one day. I don't know how, I don't remember how to contact them, but maybe they don't offer the classes anymore. But every time I'd see that, I think, that's awesome. Well, I've learnt how to spin wool, and I bought my sewing machine so I can do basic sewing at least. If I wanted to, I could learn more, I guess, how to do, you know, put garments together. And I'd love to make a 1910 fishtail skirt to go with my corset and double velvet. But then it's too hot here to wear double velvet. It's pointless, isn't it? I'd be better off to make it in a very good quality cotton or perhaps silk, but again, silk rots out after a while. Taffeta, maybe. Then they'd hear me swish, swish, swish as I walk into the club and walk out of the club. Ah, never mind. It's a fantasy. I wouldn't look as good in it anyway because I'm short and fat. If I lost a lot of weight though, I'd try and replicate that beautiful suit that Kate Winslet wore in the movie The Titanic, just when they were embarking on the ship with a big picture hat. Oh, she looked gorgeous. Gorgeous, talented woman. Of course, she didn't make her own suit. A costume designer would have made it, but it was a beautiful outfit. Hey, Kermie, do you want some more water? She says, no, Mum, I'm still drying off from the last spritz. Okay, just thought I'd ask. Right. A running hare in bronze made the hilt, with its head as the pommel and the curve of its body set to fit a small hand. The hind legs stretched out and wound around themselves and flowed into the blade, so that the join was a fluid thing, as if the hare emerged from water or the moon. Oh, I'd love that. What a beautiful bowline, or what's the other word? The other one is a witch's knife that is only used for ceremonial. It's not actually used for cutting anything. Oh, the word escapes me now. Bowline is a knife you use for cutting, preparing for rituals. Oh, it'll come to me. It's annoying I can't Google while I'm making my videos. I need money to buy myself a new laptop. I need a new laptop, a new mattress, a new TV, a rolling mill for my jewellery, a lapidary rock cutting, slab cutting machine. They're about $3,000. And a faceting machine. They're about $3,000-$4,000 too. Everything I want is in excess of $3,000-$4,000. Sucks, doesn't it? Breathe, Tanya. In the broad scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I can do without those things. Although I really do need to prioritise buying a new mattress in the next 6 months to a year. It's long past time. I bought the last one in 2012. So what's that? We're into the 14th year now. Kermie. Hey, can you see? Oh, the other weird spiritual thing, although I'm not sure if it was spiritual, it could have just been the wind, was at precisely 10:45 last night. I had gotten out of bed and went outside because there was a very bright light, like the moon's not full anymore, but there was still, it was a very brightly lit night. So I went out and I just kind of had a look around at the sky and observed how bright everything was. Anyway, I must have left the back door a little bit open, maybe just a tiny bit open. And I went back to bed and I laid down and put my CPAP mask back on. And it really freaked me out, like I actually got a fright, because I have a string of bells that hang on the back door, and when the bells ring it means that there's fairies around, although very rarely do the bells ring inside the house. But I could hear the whole string on the back door vigorously tinkling. So I kind of sat up and got a bit of a fright. And then I could hear flapping around in the bird room, and I thought, well, that's weird. Whoever it was has gone into the birds' room. But I think they just got a fright too because they heard the bells all ringing. So I was more worried about the birds actually, but I ran into the kitchen and saw that the back door was open this far apart, and the string of bells was still kind of vibrating a little bit. I thought, well, what caused that to push the door open and set off all the bells? Probably the wind, people of Earth. Not everything is spiritual, metaphysical. Some things have, quite logical, pragmatic, scientific explanations. But I thought, well, I'll go and check. I'll check in the bird room because I could hear the sound of Bo fluttering around quite vigorously. So I went in and he was flipping himself around and looking really frightened. So I don't know whether it was the bells ringing or if a spirit or fairy had come through the back door and gone into the bird room, but he was freaked out. So I just spoke to him and said, it's okay, little Bo, everything's safe. Mama has this house blessed and protected. No harm shall come to you. It's just probably the wind. And he just looked at me like this. So anyway, I quietly went out, went back to bed, sat on my bed, put the mask back on, thought, it wasn't that the door opened that is unusual, because wind pushes doors open all the time. It's that the entire string of bells all went off together. Tinkling, tinkling, tinkling. So with all the weird little spiritual things that happened yesterday, it makes me wonder if it was actually, someone making their presence known. But, there's no sense of negativity or threat. This morning the door opened a little bit again, but at this time I stepped out as soon as I saw it and I could feel the wind pushing in. I thought, well, that's the wind this time, definitely the wind. But yeah, what made me think that it wasn't the wind last night was I'd been outside in the garden looking around, hadn't noticed any particularly large drafts of wind. So anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. When the gods want my attention, or the angels or the fae want my attention, they make their presence is known, and sometimes it's quite delightful and sometimes it's can be a bit not frightening but a bit startling because it comes usually unexpectedly. Right. Down the length of the iron, sigils were inlaid in copper and silver. Very good thing to do with a blade that you're going to carry into war, especially. Protection, people of Earth. Protection. Being bitten by ants. Oh, I think we're going to get rain soon. We're going to get rain, my boys. They swam before Granny's eyes, whispering words she could not hear. Pardon me. As she looked away, Hawk said, Valerius made these for you. Your mother gave them to me before we left. She asked me not to give them to you until you were ready to use them. It's weird, but my mouth feels a bit better since I've been eating this fruit. Probably the coolness of it and the enzymes and the vitamin C, and maybe it's just because I've convinced myself that it'll make me feel better. Mind over matter, people of Earth. I throw, the skins from the fruit into the garden because it rots down, but most of the time I put it in the worm farm, but the worm farm's well fed at the moment. Good boys. What's my good boy doing, Kermie? Ooh, you're so handsome. Did anyone tell you how handsome you are? Yes, Mama, you tell me every day. And Bo's handsome too. I finished my tea. By the gods. Right. Hawk said, Valerius made these for you. Your mother gave them to me before we left. She asked me not to give them to you until you were ready to use them. There were tadpoles in the river. Someone had thrown the end of a jugged hare's jugged. Do they mean it's had its throat cut? Jugular? I don't know. Someone had thrown the end of a jugged hare's haunch into the shallows at the side, and it was fringed with small bulbous eel shapes like a voracious black-petalled flower. Speaking of black-petalled, I noticed my elderberries are in fruit again. Lots of fruit on them. Grain dabbed her toe in the water, making rings, and watched the writhing blackness scatter into fragments and come together again. I used to hate pawpaw, but I quite like it now. It's weird. The mama too still doesn't like broccoli though. I mean, not broccoli. I love broccoli, but I still don't like Brussels sprouts though. Not looking up, she said, give them to someone who wants them. There are plenty of half-grown youths in Hibernia who would give their souls for the battle blade of an Iceni smith. If you don't tell them who made it, they won't disdain to use it. Do you? I thought you liked Valerius. I do. I would love to have that blade. I wouldn't do anything with it, people of Earth, don't get me wrong. Don't want to hurt anyone or any living creature. But it'd just be cool to have it as a collector's item, especially something so exquisitely made. Little bow. Are you my little bow? Who are you reacting to? Minnows came between the tadpoles. A water boatman skimmed across the surface where her toe had been. She said, "That is, I don't dislike him. My mother loves him. He matters for that. I don't disdain his blade. I just don't want to be a warrior." Fair enough too. It's one thing to be a spiritual warrior, and quite another to actually have to kill someone and deal with the body and the carnage and the fucking horror. I wouldn't like that. Not my bag at all. My knees cracking, by the way. Now that I'm old, everything makes noises. I'm not that old though. I'm only 60. 60 is the new 40. And other lies we tell each other to get us through our day. Right. Hawk laughed so that she looked up in surprise. Shaking his head, he uncrossed his legs and stood up and leaned his shoulder again on the tree. With the mirth still dancing in his eyes, he said, "Grain, dreamer of miracles, if I wanted to make you a warrior, you and I would spend the rest of our lives in the teaching and end in old age with both of us frustrated. I couldn't make you a warrior if I wanted, and I don't want to. I just want to make you safe." Promises, promises. Fucking dirtbag liars. Fuck! Well, it doesn't matter. Mamatu keeps herself safe. Always has, always will. With the help of my spirit people that come to my aid, by the way. Don't do this life alone. Contrary to popular condescensions. I am safe. I have you and Dubornos and Gunavar. I can't move a step without one or all of you being there. Oh, they're really biting hard today, little buggers. You are among the best warriors in the war host. Everyone knows that. If you three are killed, my having a blade will make no difference. Yes, Granny, yes it will. He was suddenly serious. not closed as he had been, but with the life in his eyes that he had seen once or twice before when things mattered. He opened his mouth to speak and thought better of it, and sank instead to a crouch and hugged his knees and tucked his chin on his folded forearms and studied her, thinking. Fronds of birch trailed about his face, framing the width of his eyes. When he had arranged the right words in his head, he said, "In battle, men kill those who threaten them. If we three are dead, then Mona is lost, and you are lost with it. I think all of us would rather you died then, and crossed the river to Briga in our company, than were left alive for the legions to do other things." He pursed his lips, watching her to see if the words had done damage. Less tensely he said, "I am not going to teach you to kill legionaries, Grain of the grey eyes. I'm going to teach you to look dangerous, so that death will come faster and you will never have to live through what you did before. Will you allow that much of me with the blades your uncle has made?" For no one else would she have done it. For Hawke, for the starkness of his honesty, and for the solemnity in his face, and the humour that could be brought back again, and because she did not always want him to go away, she took the hand he offered across the river and took the 2 blades he gave her, the long one for the left because she worked better with that hand, and the knife for the right. She felt the balance of each and how different it was from carrying Corvus's blade or her mother's. The writing on the blade danced through the hair and into her arm, and she felt a whisper in her bones that made her want to weep and throw them down. She gritted her teeth and grimaced and saw that Hawke had seen it, and the pity that came after, which was not what she wanted at all. She made herself smile, and when he asked it of her, she took up the stance she had seen every day since her birth and never thought to emulate, and began the first slow movements of the warrior's dance, knowing that she would never have to kill with it, only learn to look dangerous. And thus concludes chapter 25 of Boadicea, Dreaming the Serpent Spear. The next couple of chapters are quite short and I could continue, but I'm tired. I burnt my mouth, poor little Mama T. But even with a burnt mouth, Mama T will never be silenced. My poor mouth's been severely damaged before in childhood, so it learnt. I was silenced enough through my childhood and adolescence and into my 20s. my bitch lawyer sister telling me not to go to the police because it might damage her reputation. Fucking treacherous dog. Do you see the pattern, the theme of betrayal and treachery, even from my own bloodlines, searing through my life like a hot buttered blade, going through butter like a hot fork on my lips? Fuck you. You will never silence me. And even in death, I will have my vengeance. Saith the Lord, of course. But, and it's been enough. It's been enough throughout my life. People faking love and promising protection and then being too cowardly to enact on it. So I'm done, people of Earth. Quite done. But it's a beautiful day, and going to enjoy the rest of it. Every day above ground is a day. Sometimes a good day, sometimes a mediocre day, sometimes a sad and trauma activated day, some days painful, some days blissful, and a day is just a tiny fraction of an entire lifetime. It builds a bit of a mosaic, doesn't it? I've got a little he's singing, little Indian minor bird having a bath. It's hot, my love. You enjoy that. I put that out for you all. You enjoy that. The Mama T might have a paddle in it herself. It's been quite hot today, but it's quiet and peaceful in the neighbourhood, and it's lovely actually. I'm grateful for the loveliness that surrounds me and that is gifted to me. In spite of all the ghastly horror, sometimes there's still loveliness, but you've got to look at it, really look at it, search for it sometimes, and keep it precious when it unfolds for you beautifully. So on that note, to my beloved fellow Homo sapiens sapiens, on this journey with me as we hurtle through time and space and confluences and cogitations and cohabitations and machinations of anti-humanist, cowardly, evil dogs. Hold true like glue, stay human, touch grass like my feet are touching right now, even though the ants are biting me. Love the ones who love you truly, and enjoy something healthy to eat. Live your best life, no matter what, no matter who. Stay in communication with the Holy One and all manifestations. Yesterday was a busy day. Latin speaking spirits and tinkling bells, and it's been a lot of spiritual activity since actually Christmas time, before Christmas. It's all flared up. So that's okay. It tells me that my spirit people are with me, guiding and protecting me. So I'm very fortunate and blessed. Bye for now. I'll be back tomorrow with chapter 26. Take good care, be of good cheer, and remember as always, to never ever let the bastards grind us down.